Yeah, you read that right. It's too early o'clock in the morning. We're about to head the road on an epic road trip. It's 7:15 in the morning. We've been on the road 2 3/4 hours and we are right in the north of Bosnia, about to cross over into Croatia. Yesterday we were in Czech, so we drove to Sarajevo, stay overnight in Sarajevo. We'll be in the Czech Republic by this evening. Maybe 12 hours it will take us. That's probably optimistic. This is our road trip for today. When I was 16 years old, I met some people who were from Hungary and I got invited to go and stay with them in Budapest and got really excited about it, and it never happened. I have never been to Hungary until today, just over 25 years later. Yeah, just literally across the border from Croatia. We'll just stop here, as you can see behind me, big sign, first stop over the border by the vignette that you need, which is like road tax. And so the driver's off doing that. So definitely bringing you all the really pretty views in this video. Another car park, another vignette to buy. 9 hours on the road so far and my bum aches, and it's very clear to me that I am a horrible passenger. This is a guy in the pink shirt's giving the hard sell on some knives. We are somewhere in the vicinity of Bratislava, on the border just crossing to Slovakia. After this is Czech Republic, and we're almost our destination for this week.
You have to put it sideways because we forgot the thing that goes on there.
Yes,
But
That way. Czech Republic. That way's the back, that's the way we've just come from. So we've arrived. Travelled a few hours, 13 hours. 13 hours and 10 minutes and we're here. Morning is the day after our long drive and we're off to spend 5 hours in a coach. Yeah. So I don't know what this video is going to turn into. It's going to be a little more long and rambling than I thought. But we're at a conference in the Czech Republic with people who work with churches and young people doing music and sport, that very similar stuff to what we're doing in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And so we're there to kind of network a little bit and get ideas, be inspired. And we're off for driving around Moravia. So we're going to see what we learn today.
We're bus number 2, and on the front of this bus we're also going to put this sign which says bus number 2, so please don't get on the wrong bus.
We've been on the road 2.5 hours now and we're outside this museum just about to do a tour around. You can see I've got earphones in, learning some stuff. And maybe we'll bring you some, if it looks pretty in there, I'll show you. If it doesn't, alright. We're running on a super tight to the minute schedule today, 7.5 hours in a bus going around this part of the Czech Republic. I'm thinking a little bit into Poland. Not loads of filming inside because basically it's quite an old-fashioned looking museum with everything written in Czech. But we had a great audio tour, hence the headphones earlier, and yeah, really kind of interesting story. The village we're in here, Sukdal, if you go back into the 1700s, a third of the population, 250 out of 750 people, left the town because of religious persecution, went to a place called Herrenhuter, which is up the road a little bit, where they could be safe. But from there ended up going all over the world. If you're from the UK and you're watching this, you'll have heard of John Wesley, and you've heard of the impact of Methodism. He was heavily influenced by the people who came originally from this village, which is a small, nondescript little village. It's quite challenging just thinking about that, thinking about, I don't know, where we judge where ideas come from, where we judge where people come from or why they move. But in the 1700s, people from here, which is right in the middle of Europe, were getting on boats, which was such a remote thing for them physically to travel to the sea somewhere, getting on boats and travelling literally all over the world, inspired by the faith they had found. We've been here about half an hour. We're getting on the bus and leaving again. But yeah, just popped over the border to have a look inside this church here, which has some really significant history in the region. So yeah, been interesting. Today's been interesting in terms of like putting not faces to names but places to names that I've heard over the years, and just actually visiting a few places and things I've heard talked about, different sort of historic things that have gone on, and just getting a bit more explanation and a bit more insight into things. And it always makes you think a good bit of history. Can we learn from it? That's always the challenge. It is, trying to do the math, it's 7.5 hours since we left this morning. We are back where we're staying, which is just over there. It has been an interesting day, and I mean that in the positive sense of the word. And we have talked a lot, we have learned a lot, we have seen a lot, and we definitely have some things to consider. I hope you've enjoyed the ride. If you've heard some words you're not familiar with or some places that you're not familiar with, then do check it out online. So I'm going to let me finish, but I thought I had to jump in with a couple of the day after thoughts, just to try and make this make a little bit more sense. I think one of the big things that hit me that I came away with was just the whole travel, like how far these people travelled on the strength of their convictions. And I mean not in the metaphoric journey sense, but they walked distances that would put the proclaimers to shame. They took boat trips all over the world in a time when that was like proper old-fashioned wooden sailing boats. We're talking like mid to late 1700s. And it really challenged me about my attitude to travel. And these days travel is so easy, and yet we can get so like, well, is it worth it? Can I really be bothered to sit in the car for 4 hours to get here? Can I really bother to like do a journey that's going to take me 12 or 13 hours to get there? You know, as you know, it took us 13 hours to get here where we are, and yeah, how much we're prepared to pay for the things we really, want to do. What is the strength of our convictions, and how much we're prepared to turn that into action and really kind of go for it and put the miles in. And that's one of the things that's definitely spinning around my head because of all of this. And yeah, really challenged by that. People are prepared to really get outside their comfort zones, embrace cultures that are completely different to theirs, and really have a lasting benefit to people because of that. They really do something that in one way change, maybe not the whole world, but change people's world. And yeah, there's something very inspiring and very humbling about looking at people and go, wow, yeah, I don't know if I'm on that page at all when it comes to dedication to the cause. Yeah, it's been good. Now you can finish. We've got another couple of days here, somewhere in the Czech Republic, and then we head back. But I think that is it for this week's video. So thanks very much for watching. If you like what you've seen, do rate, comment and subscribe. Remember, together we do adventure. See you next time.